Okay, so guys, here today I'm going to go ahead and explain how to implement DHCP on your Cisco router in that network of yours. For me, I'm going to be connecting my Cisco router to a DSL modem, so I'm going to go ahead and go to my WAN port, which I have as interface F00. I'm going to go ahead and set that IP to DHCP after I name my router King's House, of course, because I'm the king. And the reason for that is because I want that WAN port to be a part of the network with the DSL modem. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble talking here. And that way we can go ahead and access the outer or the internet through that network, because all of your ISP information will be coming from your DSL modem to that WAN port. After doing that, you can go ahead and go to your actual home network or your LAN port, where I chose to go ahead and choose the basic IP address of 192.168.8.1, but you can choose whatever network you'd like, as long as it's a private network IP address, and go ahead and assign that correctly. I chose subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, so I can have the basic Cider 24 network there. I don't believe I'm gonna ever need more than 255, at least myself, because I only have 4-5 computers. Okay, so now that I've got my ports, IP address and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and exclude that LAN port, so that when I go ahead and implement DHCP, it doesn't try and lease that actual address, and we won't have any IP address issues. When trying to implement DHCP, you must go ahead and go IP DHCP pool and name it whatever you like. Whenever you come back to this pool, you must type it exactly the same way, whether the second letter was capital or it was lowercase. Everything must be identical. Of course, if you understand subnetting, my network is going to be 192.168.8.0. So I set my network first, then I go ahead and set my default router for everything within that LAN, which of course is my LAN port 192.168.8.1. Now, my DSL modem has a LAN interface itself, which it gives network information to my WAN port of my router. I'm going to use that as an automatic DNS server. That way I can go ahead and skip that part of setting the DNS server, but in other cases you can use the basic 8.8.8.8 or 4.2.2.5. There's a couple out there. Okay guys, being as though I did run through that quite quickly, I feel that it's fair that I give you a quick retake on each one of those. Mainly 5, but I say 6 because I was known to forget to save a lot of my work at the beginning of my career. Steps here when creating DHCP. The first thing I would do, as you saw me do there, exclude my my static IP addresses for each, whether it be DNS server there on my network or just the default gateway for my network. Then step 2 would be actually create the pool. Alright, so this is an actual command, IP DHCP pool, whatever you want to name it. I named it data. Just make sure whenever you go back to make changes to that DHCP pool, you use the same exact spelling, whether it be capital, lowercase, however you did it the first time, make sure you do it the second time. Then once I actually create the pool, I go ahead and continue to step 3, which is actually name my network. Let it know this is a network. This is the network I'm using. This is the subnet I'm using. Nothing beyond it should be used when issuing IP addresses to any of my clients. All right, then I go ahead and set up my default route, which will actually be my LAN port, my gateway, my, one of those static addresses that I went ahead and assigned there. And after that, in my case, I actually did not have to set up a DNS server because my router was automatically using the DSL modem as a DNS, which got a DNS address from the ISP, but that's a whole nother explanation. But there's defaults out there that everyone can use, like 8888 or 4225 or 4444. There's a couple out there. After you go ahead and complete all these steps, do not forget to save. Alright, so now that's a quick replay of each step I went ahead and did there. If you have any questions or want me to go into detail with any of these steps as to why I did it that way, or just explain the DHCP in more detail, period, go ahead and ask those questions down in the comments, and like, subscribe, everything. I'll be happy to explain more.